Hello and welcome to the Adventurer's Guide, and this week it is all about patch 8.1.5 and the content that is coming with it. Now normally a midway patch isn't particularly very big, but in this case there is a lot of content to get through. So let's get going. The first thing is we now have a release date. As of filming, it is 2 weeks today. It is the 12th of March or the 13th of March in the EU. With it becomes the most awaited piece of content probably in this expansion, which is the two new playable races, the Zandalari Trolls and the Kultiran Humans. Now, controversy aside, I'm really excited about these, and I am going to be race changing two of my characters to the Zandalari Trolls, as I think the Druid forms looks absolutely amazing, and my monk is probably going to go across to a Troll as well. Now, there's still some uncertainty around the racials, specifically the regeneration one from a Zandalari Troll, where you regenerate health over a certain amount of time. But overall, these playable races look brilliant, and I can't wait to get my hands on them. Now, Blizzard has been very forthcoming with the unlock requirements for both of these races, and if you've been playing the game normally since launch, you've probably already achieved what you need to, which is essentially complete the main storylines for both factions, and then, dependent on which race you want to unlock, hit Exalted with the required reputation, so the Zandalari, for instance, if you want to unlock the Trolls, and you also need to have completed the War campaign as well. Once 8.1.5 is released, if you have met those requirements, you will then find the relevant quest line in either Dazara Lore or in Boralus Harbour, which will then start the quest unlock. There are some intriguing quest lines as well. They're quite fun to play through, and overall this is a really good piece of content coming out. The next thing is the new 2-boss raid, the Crucible of Storms. Now, this isn't unlocking on the 12th or 13th of March, but it is in fact coming later, which makes sense because Battle of Dazara Lore hasn't been out that long. This raid is going to be unlocked on the 16th of April. Now, there's been some initial testing done on PTR, and the bosses do feel different. The first one not being as good in my opinion, but the second boss is quite good and fun to play. Now, in terms of gear, Blizzard have just confirmed that the eye level will be slightly higher than what drops in Battle of Dazara Lore. So from the first boss, the eye level will be 5 levels higher, and on the second boss, you are going to see gear 10 eye levels higher. The gear itself is very interesting. It does have slightly reduced secondary stats, however, Blizzard have gone for a unique approach on putting interesting abilities on all of the gear. So for instance, on one of the weapons, it will deal shadow damage to the enemy, and you will see these balls of shadow damage going out and striking the enemy, at which point it then bounces back towards you. You then have to move out of the way, otherwise you will take damage as well. Some of the abilities on this armour and weapons can actually kill you, so it does make you think about your playstyle, which in my opinion is a good thing, and it can alter the way you play. The next thing we've got coming is new storyline content. The story from BFA is progressing. Some people think it's too slow, it's not particularly interesting, but personally I'm quite intrigued to see where this is going. We've got some new storyline with Sylvanas and Bane and what happens with Zelling. And we've also got more content to do over on Kul Tiras as well. We've also got the Brawlers Guild. Now, the Brawlers Guild is coming back, and with it is going to be a new quest line, and once you have got an invite to the Brawlers Guild, you can then progress through this quest line where somebody has been murdered, and it's down to you to find out who has done it. As normal, there are going to be some fights that you need to progress through, and once you get to the end, you do unlock a really cool mount. Yes, Bruce is finally going to be an unlockable mount within the game. Bruce looks really cool in my opinion. It is definitely something that I am going to be trying to achieve. We're also going to be getting some new profession quest lines. Now, this is really interesting, and I'm glad Blizzard is doing something with this because it does make crafting feel a little bit unique. They're only usable for yourself, the crafter, and at this moment in time it is only for crafting professions. So we don't know whether there is going to be anything for gathering professions later on down the line. Now what's really cool about this is after the quest line, which has taken me around half an hour to complete, dependent on if you need to go into any dungeons or not, you're then able to craft a specific item relevant to your profession. For instance, as a jewel crafter, you are able to craft something which will then allow you to remove gems without destroying them. As a leather worker, you will get access to a special mount that you can use in the zones, and as a tailor, you can rewind yourself back in time and res yourself when you are in the new zones. So overall, they are really, really cool. You will also get the opportunity to use, you'll get a buff and an increase in certain areas, which is also pretty cool. There's also going to be Warlords of Draenor Time Walking introduced. Now, this is really, really cool because, again, it's just more content that can help you gear up, and it will also allow you to buy reputation tokens to help you unlock Warlords of Draenor flying if you haven't done so already, which is the biggest reason I'm excited to see this come in. And there are going to be 2 new mounts which you can purchase with your time walking badges, which again, they do look pretty cool. There is 2 new portal rooms added. Now this again has caused a bit of controversy. And what this means is, in both Orgrimmar and Stormwind, there is a new portal room where all of the portals are going to be housed. These portal rooms do look very, very cool, and in my personal opinion, I think the Stormwind one looks better. You can find this in the Mage Tower, and in Orgrimmar you can find it in the main gates of Orgrimmar. Now, the controversy surrounding this is that most of the other portals across the world have been removed. The main ones causing the concern is the one in Legion Dalaran. So yes, those portals to Wyrmrest Temple, to Caverns of Time, they have been removed. Ironforged on Nasus have all gone. There is a small workaround in this, as you can go to Stormshield, and there are still portals to Ironforge there that you can use. Blizzard have confirmed recently that the Legion Dalaran portals will still appear for those people on the quest lines to help you get around. There are also going to be some updates to the mini holidays. There are going to be Zandalari children and Kultiran humans added to Children's Week, and there are going to be 3 new micro holidays across the year. Arathi Basin and Warsong Gulch's remastered battlegrounds are also going to be released, and this was something which is just bringing the game more up to date. The Darkmoon Faire has also had an upgrade, and the goblins down there have been hard at work building the brand new Darkmoon Faire roller coaster. This roller coaster is rideable by yourself in your own little cart, and it costs just 1 ticket, and it takes you on a fairly long and fairly boring ride around the Darkmoon Faire, which will give you your reputation gain buff. So similar to the carousel, it's just a bit more interesting, although it does take slightly longer. It's a cool little idea, and I'm probably only going to use it once or twice just because of how long it takes. So overall then, this patch is looking pretty beefy, with the raid coming slightly later, the 2 new races coming at launch, and then the extra storylines with both professions, the Brawlers Guild, and the main story. It is shaping up to be pretty interesting. The next big thing about this though, it means we are getting closer to seeing patch 8.2 go onto the PTR, which of course means that we'll be able to see Nazjatar and test the environment and see what it's all about, bringing us more closer to the end of this storyline and hopefully finally seeing N'Zoth. Not that there are any old gods in this expansion, right? So thanks for watching. If you found this useful, please like the video. If you want to know more, or if you have any thoughts, if I've missed anything, please leave me a comment below. And if you did like this video, please think about subscribing, and I will be doing more on these on a regular basis. Thanks for watching.